Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Okay, today we're going to be taking a look at this. This is the beautiful Crosley C200 direct drive stereo 2-speed turntable. Now this bad boy was designed and engineered in the US of A and is a beautiful and awesome turntable. If you've been with us for a while, you know that we reviewed the C100, which is the belt drive version of this turntable, a couple of years ago. Flawless machine, has worked wonderfully for years, great turntable, love that thing. The C200 is pretty much identical, except we got it in black this time, so it looks awesome, but it's also, as I said, a direct drive turntable. But what makes this turntable very interesting, and you're going to have to stay tuned to the end of the show to find out what I'm talking about, is that there is something that you're not going to hear anywhere else about this turntable that you need to know. And you're only going to hear it here. This is exclusive for you guys. So check out our review, our unboxing, coming up here in a minute, and then stay tuned till the end. I'll tell you the exclusive bit of information as well as how you can own one of these for an awesome price. All right, guys, so let's get right into it.
This is Record-ology.
All right, guys, without further ado, let's get right into it. This is going to be fun. There are few things in life as fun as opening up a brand new turntable. Packaging is top notch, as it usually is. I am very much interested in not opening this upside down like I usually do. I think I might have done it right for once, you guys. Packed in there tight. Set the box aside. We've got our felt platter mat right on top. Very cool. We've got our dust cover next. And this is really neat doing it not upside down for a change, because I'm actually, it makes sense the way things are packed when you do it this way. Typically I open things upside down and I don't get to enjoy this part of it. Very cool dust cover. It's kind of this blue clear plastic, which is super awesome. And those are somewhat susceptible to scratching, so make sure that you avoid stacking things on top of it. Here's the owner manual and audio cables. Set that aside. And we've got our foam packing material. The accessories are in this side, so we'll definitely save that. Yeah, I feel like this is taped. Yes, it is. Okay. So here is the platter. It's a heavy-duty metal platter. I believe it's aluminum. Could be steel, but I believe it's aluminum. It does have this inner rim, because this is going to be very similar, if not identical, to the C100 that has a belt drive, and the belt would rest right here with access holes to access the belt motor there. You can use your fingers to lift up the platter right here. You'll notice these dots along the edge. We'll explain that in a little bit, but that's basically the strobe markings, so we can verify that the turntable is rotating at the correct speed. Back to the actual turntable. Gently remove the blocking materials. As I said before, this side has the accessories, so we want to be very careful in unpacking these. As you can see, we've got our head shell right here. Be very careful with this. It's a removable head shell, and it's preloaded with an Audio-Technica cartridge in there. Set that aside. Got our 45 spacer right there, as well as our tone arm counterbalance right there. Now let's go ahead and remove as gently as possible the anti-static plastic wrap. Look at that, you guys. The big reveal. That thing looks gorgeous. Man, it's beautiful. Okay, let's have a look at the underside. Okay, guys, you're gonna notice these nice swivel feet with a rubber bottom, good stability and good movement, and as well as the ability to absorb some shock and some motion. All right, there's also a place right here where you can adjust the overall direct drive speed. And then up here, there's pots to control specifically the 33 or 45. It does have a hole for 78, although this is a 2-speed turntable, so you won't be able to make an adjustment there. I noticed there's another pot here that says direct drive speed, so not 100% sure if both of those work. A lot of times they'll share the bottom castings on these units with other units because it's too expensive to make a separate molding for every single one. So I've got it plugged in. It took me about a half an hour to remove the twisty tie. Whatever robot twisted that did a very good job. So this is a direct drive turntable, and some of you may be wondering, what in the world does that mean? Well, there are two basic types of turntables. There's direct drive, and there are belt-driven turntables. A belt-driven turntable will have a motor, an electric motor, which would be right about here. Again, this is the direct drive variant, the C100 that we reviewed in the past, which is very similar, but it's a belt drive. Would have a motor right here and then a belt that would stretch around that inner rim of the platter. And that's how it would turn the platter. But a direct drive turntable, the motor itself is right here in the middle and it's directly connected to the platter. So the platter essentially is the motor, or in some cases it's geared directly towards the motor. So why would you want a belt driven? Why would you want a direct drive? In theory, and in practice, a belt drive turntable will have a little less motor rumble than a direct drive one. Newer direct drive turntables have been able to eliminate motor noise or substantially limit them. As we've seen on the Audio-Technica LP120X USB, the new one, there is no motor noise anymore. But with a belt-driven turntable, there is a rubber belt separating the motor from the platter and therefore the tone arm and therefore the stylus. So the idea is that you separate the pickup device from the motor as much as possible. However, there are benefits to a direct drive turntable as well in that you get more torque. So that is power to get it up to speed quick. As an example, when it comes to four-wheel driving, horsepower isn't really important. What's important is torque. That's the muscle to climb, that's the muscle to crawl over rocks or whatever you're four-wheel driving. Same thing goes with direct drive turntables. It gets more torque to get that platter up to speed. It's also the only way you can do back queuing and DJ work is with a direct drive turntable. So that's that. Couple of points of interest right here. I do see an adjustment where you can switch it from 110 to 220. You'd have to go back and look at our, I'll put a card up in the top right now, but go back and look at our C100 review. I seem to remember that the motor pulley was over here. This one looks like it would have been here if it was a C100. It's kind of interesting. They have a piece of black tape over there. I am going to look under this black tape. You probably shouldn't do this. It would probably void the warranty. By the way, these come with a great warranty. These have a warranty of a year, which is really good. But I'm going to look under here. It's probably just a hole. Yeah, that's what it is. So, yep. And I look down in there. There's no motor hiding or anything like that, but that's where the motor would be. And they put this piece of black tape over there just to keep it covered because there's no reason to have that open because there is circuitry down there. Because we're rocking the direct drive. We don't need a belt. Okay guys, let's go ahead and put the platter on. With a direct drive turntable, it's very simple. You literally just gently lower the platter onto the center spindle, just like that. And we're good to go. Let's go ahead and add our accessories on. I'm going to go ahead and put on the lid, put in the spacer, and then we'll go ahead and attach the cartridge. This does have a regular 1/2-inch mount head shell, so you can easily replace it by twisting this right here. And it's equipped with a good entry-level Audio-Technica moving magnetic cartridge, you guys. Because this has a magnetic cartridge, it requires a preamp. However, there's a built-in preamp, so you don't need to worry about having an external one. Okay, we can go ahead and remove this twisty tie. and set our counterbalance. Very, very important that you do this. I'm not going to go through a detailed instruction on how to do that right now, but if you want to learn how, and you should know how, make sure that you check out previous videos that we've detailed this. Basically, you want to set the counterweight so that the tone arm is balanced in space. It's not going up or down on its own. Then you take the outer plastic rim and make sure that it's set to 0. Then you can apply your tracking force. With this cartridge, 2 grams of tracking force is adequate. Make sure you use this safety clip when you're not using the turntable or you're moving it around like we are right now. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the back panel real quick and see about that preamp setting. As I said before, it does have a built-in preamp. So if you are going to be using an external preamp, set it to phono. That means it's going to put out a lower level voltage and a quieter signal so that your external preamp can amplify it. Or if you don't have an external preamp and you just want to connect it to powered speakers or a stereo, put it to line level right there, and that'll take care of you. Over here on the left, we have simple RCA output jacks that will allow you to connect it to a stereo system or powered speakers. Okay, don't let the controls of this turntable intimidate you. It is a fully manual turntable, but it's simple to learn, and once you've got it set up, it's as easy to use as any other turntable. All right, guys, when you're ready to go, just flip it to on by turning this knob. You'll see this light over here illuminate these dots on the side of the platter. Those correspond to these markings right down here. Now, if you're in a 50 hertz power area like Europe, you will use this top chart here, meaning the top 2 dots, the small one and the large one up here, will be the ones you want to look at. If you're in the US or any other place that's on 60 hertz power, the lower 2 dots are what we're going to want to look at. The reason why there's 2 dots per 50 hertz and for 60 hertz is because the small dot represents 33 RPM and the large dot represents 45 RPM, the 2 speeds of our turntable. So to start the platter spinning, you simply tap start and stop. Now what you're going to notice here is that these dots are kind of scrolling right now. Alright? We're set at 33 RPM, so what we should be seeing is that small dot, the one that's oscillating to the right, is stationary. As you can see, it's not. So why is it not stationary? Is there a problem? No. Over here on the right, we have our pitch slider. Now our pitch slider controls the speed of the motor. So by going up or down, we can adjust the speed and therefore the pitch of the music. So we'll use this slider to get that dot over on the strobe perfectly stationary. Okay, so as you can see, it's still moving. I'm going to move the slider now, the pitch slider, until that light is stationary. So see that dot right there? See how it's not moving? That means that we are spinning at exactly 33 1/3 RPM. If I press this over to 45, it's going to switch down to the other set of dots and the motor is going to speed up the platter. Now as you can see, our dot is stationary, so the speed is set perfectly. And the balance between the 33 and the 45 RPM speed is adjusted perfectly as well. If you have to adjust the pitch when you switch between 33 and 45, you would want to make an adjustment on the bottom of the turntable that we were looking at earlier. One more thing that's super important. By default, you want to set your anti-skate to the same value that your counterbalance is set at. So we're at 2 grams right here, meaning that there's 2 grams of downforce on the record, which changes depending on what cartridge and stylus you're using. For this one, 2 grams is appropriate. So since that's set to 2, we're setting the anti-skate to 2. The anti-skate is the control over how much the tone arm is going to pull in or push out. We want it neutral so that its movement is dictated by the position of the grooves, not by any force pushing in or pulling out. Alright guys, it's time to give this bad boy a sound test. We're going to be listening to it through a direct feed. You're going to hear it as though you had it plugged into your own headphones. So here we go.
Let me play one when you get through. Okay. Ouch. Kick it, Sid. Kick it.
Boy, he can kick it for my money.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that show as much as I enjoyed putting it together for you. So what's the big news? The big news is that they are discontinuing this turntable. That's right, they are ceasing production of the C200. And I also can tell you this, the old DJ100 that we reviewed, I think it was about a year ago, as a direct drive DJ turntable, also discontinued. So at this point in time, there's not going to be any direct drive turntables in the Crosley lineup. So there are a few available still, so if you want to get a hold of one, click on the link in the description below. But when they're sold out, when they're gone, they're gone. So snag yours while you can. They have a very good discount right now on Amazon, so check the link in the description for that. Now's a great time to set yourself up with a really nice direct drive turntable. I hope you guys enjoyed that show. Happy Halloween. Can you guys believe it? It's right around the corner. Don't forget to share this out. Tell your friends about it. One more thanks to everybody that joined our live celebration show this weekend. We gave away a bunch of stuff, record player, records, accessories, all kinds of cool stuff. We might do another one of those down the road. I'm not sure exactly when. They're kind of expensive, but we will do one at some point in the future. But as always, guys, thank you so much for being there. I appreciate it more than you know. Happy record hunting. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching Record-ology. Stay tuned for a new show every Sunday and Wednesday. Don't forget to hit subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter.